Hi there, it's Denise Eckert, and I love coming on here and sharing different ideas and techniques to help you lower the stress in your life. Because having stress in your life causes a lot of health issues, relationship issues, and a lot of other things that we really don't need in our lives. And today I have the amazing opportunity to talk to Anne Jolles, and she's an author, professional coach, professional TEDx speaker, cracking the Grace Code, and creator of Grace Trail. Now, with over 40 trails across the country, she continues her mission of helping others and finding inner peace. Welcome, Anne.
Hello, Denise. Nice to be here.
Now, what inspired you to do this type of work, to create these trails?
Well, it's a very long story, so I'll try to tell it quickly and in a nice little box. But in 2000, I was really struggling with some family issues. My parents had both just passed away, whatever. There was a lot going on, and I lost my balance in life. And I found myself in my kitchen saying, I need to step into a state of grace. Didn't know what that meant, but I knew where I was terrible. And I was looking for the eye in the storm over there, and I couldn't get there. So I actually was sitting thinking about the word grace. I saw the 5 words in the word grace, and that's gratitude, release, accept, challenge, and embrace. So I saw those 5 words, and I said, wow, those are really beautiful, healing words. And I can't believe they're in that beautiful word. And I don't even talk like that. I don't say generally I need to step into a state of grace, but I found myself saying it. And then later on that day, I heard or saw, whatever you want to say, 5 questions that naturally flow from those 5 words. And the first one would be G for gratitude. Even though life's difficult, what are you grateful for? And then R for release is, okay, now what do I need to let go of to move forward in my life? A is acceptance. And at that time, there was a lot to accept. And the question is, what do I need to accept to move forward in my life? C is for challenge. How would I like to challenge myself to move in the direction of my choice? Because at that point, I was being dragged, I felt. And E is embrace. What can I embrace as possible in my life? Started asking and answering those 5 questions throughout the day. And every time I did, I felt better. I started calling my husband at work, which I don't recommend, and asking him those 5 questions, a really busy pediatrician. And he always said, yeah, let's do it. He gave me a minute or two. We ran through it. And I said, see you later. And we'd get off. And it was tremendous help. So one night he came home and said, let's just go do Grace together. And we started walking around the block for an entire summer, asking and answering those 5 beautiful questions and feeling better every single time. So fast forward, I used it in my life coaching practice, and people liked the questions. But it wasn't until 2012 when my son was in Afghanistan in combat, and he did make it home. I read an article about the Appalachian Trail. And in the article, it was asked, who's hiking the trail? And it was answered, a whole lot of veterans walking off their war. I was, really? Where do I go to walk off my war? Can't get to the California Pacific Trail like Reese Witherspoon. Can't get to the Appalachian Trail. What do I do? So I decided to make my own trail. And I went down to the beach. I live in Plymouth, Massachusetts, America's hometown. And I went down, I picked up some big granite rocks, and I wrote gratitude. What are you grateful for? In a Sharpie, put it down on the trail. Did that in 5 beautiful locations and inspirational points all along the trail. Put up 2 maps. Thought I'd be kicked out any day because I don't own the land. It was public land. And what happened was amazing. People started coming. They started coming, walking the trail, reading my book. My Grace Trail book clubs were coming, grieving groups, divorce groups, family reunions, high school groups were walking. People came and have been coming. I'm really grateful for the response. And so that was our first Grace Trail. And I have 10, not 40, I have 10 across the country. And we put most of them in during COVID, and they're in the most amazing spots, like a major hospital here in Plymouth has one for its heroes during COVID. UMass Boston has one that runs around their whole campus. There's a 100-acre horse farm in Texas that has 3 of them. Wisconsin, 2, one in a state forest and one in a beautiful one in a small little, I call it a mystical little neighborhood setting. And we have one in an elementary school in Connecticut. and one on a town green in Connecticut. I hope I got them all, but people can go to gracetrail.com. They can see all of the custom trails. We call those custom because every location is different, and we help design the trails to honor the people who have chosen to put the work in and the time in to put these beautiful trails in. And so that's how it started, and that's where we are today.
That's amazing. I love that.
It is amazing.
Now,
It amazes me.
and I love that you've gone sort of beyond your backyard to do this, so to give more
Oh,
access
yeah.
to people
Oh,
all
yeah.
over the world, not all over the world, but in your country at the moment. Now, why do you find doing something like this benefits us?
Well, it's amazing. I think I was divinely gifted this. The universe, the guides, gods, higher power, I don't know what, but I was given this as a gift. And one of the wonderful things about this whole Grace Trail process is the way that the letters fall in line. And I'm going to encourage you and anyone who listens to your podcast to ask those simple 5 questions and feel the energy of the Grace Trail. So it's been an amazing experience for me to have this opportunity daily. I ask it throughout the day. My husband and I, it's just part of our conversation. The sequence of those questions just bring you to a different point than when you started. It's really amazing. I mean, we can do that now.
Absolutely.
Some people don't. So that's another thing about Grace Trail. When you share your answers with people, you're pretty vulnerable. So
Yeah,
people are doing this at work, they're doing this at school. I like to say there are rules on the Grace Trail. If you and I are going to walk the trail together and you're going to share your answers and I'm going to share my answers, the first rule is you don't have to answer. You might say, no, I don't want to answer that today. That's fine. The second rule is what you hear on the trail stays on the trail. You just don't go afterwards and say, hey, how's your mother-in-law doing? You just leave it on the trail. And the third one is that listening is just as important as sharing. So become a really good listener and you'll have a great time on the Grace Trail.
awesome.
So anyway, with that said, do you want to walk the Grace Trail together?
Absolutely.
All right. So what are you grateful for?
I'm just grateful for where I am. I love my country. I'm a Canadian. And yeah, I'm just happy where I am compared to
Nice.
other places in the world.
That's nice.
Hmm.
That's wonderful. Yeah, so I'm just happy where I am. I mean, I love my country and I'm really grateful to be right here with you. I'm grateful that you have an audience that wants to learn and be inspired and make changes in their life. I love hanging out with those people. That's what I'm grateful for.
Yeah. And a lot stems from that because other countries don't have clean water. We've got the fighting, you've got all
Don't feel
sorts of
safe.
chaos.
Right, right. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm
Yeah.
with you. We're lucky. Yep. Denise, what do you need to release to move forward in your life?
Second guessing myself is a big thing, I find.
It's
Yeah.
exhausting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That you're
it's
doing the
fun.
same job, I don't know how many times, and it's just get it out there. I'm releasing a mobile app. Well, I have released it, but I'm still playing small.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Yeah, I'm just insecure. And is it good enough? And I just need to release that I'm doing the right thing. And
Yeah. So what would that sound like if you, okay, I'm gonna give you a challenge. What do you need to write on a post-it note? Okay. What do you need to see every day when you're brushing your teeth, hanging on the mirror in front of you? What would the post-it note say to remind you what you need to let go of? What would it say?
just do it.
Just do it.
Just do
Okay.
it. It's all
That's what you
there. I
need.
just need to do it.
That's it. Okay. So just do it. Will that help with your self-doubt though?
Absolutely.
Well, then, will you do that? Will you put the post-it note up?
Yep.
It's kind of fun to get those messages first thing in the morning, right?
Yeah, I'm just looking. Where's my sticky pad? It's behind here somewhere, but yeah,
Yeah.
just
Okay.
do it.
Just do it. All right.
Just do it.
All right.
It's a Nike's thing. Just do it, I think.
Yeah. Nike.
Okay.
Nike. Yep. And now it's a Denise thing.
Yeah. Just do it.
Just do it.
Just
Yeah.
do it.
And just take a deep breath and tell those self-doubts, nah, you're doing it. We're
Absolutely.
going forward, onward, right?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. What do you need to accept in your life? What's calling out for you to accept?
I guess past failures. I've tried, this is not my first business online, and I find I'm successful with my businesses that were more hands-on businesses
Yeah.
or brick and mortar business type of things.
In person, possibly? Is that what you're saying, maybe? Or like in person versus online, you're saying?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. It is different, isn't it, online?
Yeah, it is.
Different. Yeah,
And I find since COVID too, it's been very loud, and social media is just a little bit off the wall right now with
I
all the
think it is.
political,
Yeah.
and it's very hard to get notice, and it's just not my thing because when I do go on there, I get sucked into that rabbit hole and it's just
Mm.
a waste of time. It's different if I want to go on Facebook and I want to read things and I have the time to do it.
Mhm.
Not where I'm looking up something and next thing, who knows where I am.
Right,
I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing or what I
right.
wanted to be doing. I'm just sucked into that, what's going on in the world and who's saying
Right.
what. And it's just staying away from that.
So the acceptance is that you've had some failures because you've taken some risks,
Yeah.
and right now life's a challenge.
Hmm.
And so the question I'm going to ask you is, what's the learning here for you and what's the opportunity?
What do you mean by learning?
What's the lesson that the universe is trying to teach you? What is it that you need to accept? And how are you going to bring that forward as wisdom versus a feeling of failure?
Let things go and see what comes to you. Like, really, I actually went to a great massage last night. It was a different massage. It was very a spiritual massage. I pulled a card at the end, and it was where you've got to let things go and let the universe guide you.
Mm,
Rather than being, I mean, being in the corporate industry for so many years when I was younger, where things, you couldn't let things guide you. Had
no,
to
you couldn't. Right.
had to do is whatever the manual said, sort of thing. And you couldn't let just whatever guide you. I want to, and I need to let the universe guide me and see what happens. And it's been working.
Mhm.
I've met an amazing programmer, and now his wife is helping me with ads, and people that I need in my life are coming into my life, and just to let it roll.
So on your little post-it note, just do it. P.S. Let the universe guide you today. Let's put it right up there. Let's just start the day with the lessons you've learned and what's the wisdom you want to take forward.
Yeah. If you push too much, you'll make yourself crazy
Yeah.
and you'll burn yourself out and stress yourself out. And worrying about things is a big thing for me too. So just let things go and see what happens. And so far, things have been great. I don't know why we worry so much.
I think it's part of our genetic makeup. That's how we survived in the past. You all were possibly in caves around the fires, and he who had to go get the firewood didn't come back.
Yeah.
No, you're always worrying about that saber-toothed tiger out there, and it's just survival. And those, we don't need to depend on that sort of hypervigilance,
Hmm.
what we're doing right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, how would you like to, what's the challenge of your choice to move you in the direction of your choice? This isn't about your to-do list. This is about what do I need to do to, what challenge do I want to take on, or what challenge do I need to give someone else to move forward?
That's a hard one. I'm not
Mm,
sure.
it is a hard one. They all are.
Yeah, I don't know at the moment, actually.
All right, so let me ask you this. What's the universe? What's trying to emerge? What's the universe trying to challenge you with? What's trying to emerge in your life?
I think it's still letting go.
Oh, that's your challenge. My
Yeah.
challenge. Okay, so picture this. So picture two buckets, okay? So you got to let go. Here's one bucket, and this is the bucket of what's in your control. And this bucket over here is the bucket that's what's out of your control. So if you can look at your challenges of what you're trying to just do and what you're trying to accept and start to tease out what is in my control, and then focus your energy in that bucket, that challenge bucket, because the other bucket here is all of our worry. That's where we keep trying to change, is what we can't change.
Yeah.
Do you know how much energy we waste there? whatever challenge you take on, and maybe you're just going to noodle on it for this call. Just say, that's a really interesting question. I would encourage you to go to the bucket of what's in your control.
Yeah.
And that's where your challenge lies.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's letting go because that's what's making me
Yeah.
stressed.
Let go of the stuff that's in that other bucket. Just fill it up and throw it out.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And E, what can you embrace as possible in your precious life?
Can I embrace?
Use your
Um,
imagination. Use your imagination, not the old corporate Denise. This is the Denise that's blazing new trails, has moved through unbelievable obstacles, has succeeded, has failed. So take your courage on the trail right now with you. Use your imagination. What's possible?
one of my goals is to eventually travel the world and help people start businesses.
Hmm,
Because I know what I've gone through and I would like to give back in that way.
hmm,
That is
nice.
really something that has always inspired me, inspired this business, really.
Hmm, nice.
Because I know what I've gone through. And if someone's got a good business idea, I mean, yes, businesses do fail, but that's because a lot of times you don't get that support.
Right.
And financial support is the biggest thing. Because I know for myself, like even right now, I work almost full time and I do contracting. So I'm a painter, I do flooring, and I'm just turned 60 and I'm grateful. I'm super grateful for it because the way the job works is I make the chunk of money, I can bring it back into the business. And when I need more money, I need a new job, new project. And I love that. I have that opportunity. But
That's nice. Yep.
I find that, yeah, I see so many people struggling with getting amazing businesses off the ground. And a lot of times they give up before it can flourish. And that breaks my heart.
So that's amazing. I
And
guess
that's
my
what I want to
question,
do full time, really. Yeah.
that's what you want to do. I mean, do you want to take on a little bit of that now? I mean, do you want to take on, I don't know.
A little hard right now.
Okay, then no. So that's what you're hanging out there on the horizon. That's
Yes.
what you're putting your energies to. That's
Yeah.
great. No, don't take on too much.
Yeah.
What you got is plenty.
It is.
Yeah. And if you don't overwhelm yourself, you're going to enjoy it more and then more good is going to come. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome
Exactly.
to the Grace Trail. How's that feel?
You know what? Amazing. Because I could just imagine doing this out in nature on a
Oh,
walk
yeah. Oh, yeah.
where you're breathing in clear
Yeah.
air, fresh air,
Yeah.
watching the trees and whatever.
Yeah.
This is amazing. Yeah.
And you can do it right at your desk. You can do it when you're sitting on the train commuting. You can do it anywhere. And I happen to have custom trails, but people can also make their own grace trails any size. If you go to gracetrail.com, I have what's known as trail kits. And
Hmm.
I have, I especially just made a new trail kit, which is the 5 questions on 5 signs. So it would arrive in your mailbox and a nice, really nice envelope, and you take out the signs and you can put them up any way you want. My husband has them in his medical office in the waiting room, and he has post-it notes there, and people answer all the questions all over the wall. And there's so many ways for people to create their own Grace Trail. I'd love for you to go check out gracetrail.com and see all the different ways. I've made it so that grace is accessible to anyone, anywhere, anytime. And I'm just glad we had the chance to walk together today.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Now, what is the importance of taking the time out to do these things for ourselves?
I think it's the difference between surviving and thriving. I
Hmm.
think so much of us are so stressed out that we're in survival mode, and it sucks. Survival mode is fine if there's a great white shark chasing you and you're swimming as fast as you can. That makes sense. But if you're in a pool and there are no great white sharks, then you're not having any fun. So the reason to do this is really so that joy can come into your life. Because without joy, what good is all of this, right?
Yeah.
It might be easy for me to say, but I don't think it is. I think I've earned the right to be here with all my life challenges and everything else. I think that the world's spinning faster than it's ever spun before, I think. And we can't control all that. Remember the two buckets? Well, what's in our control? What's in our control is right here. What's in this bucket? And that's who we bring to our lives. And I love to say to people, when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, that's when you're going to make a change. But until that point, you can just keep spinning those wheels faster than they should be going and burning yourself out and missing all of the wonderful messages the universe is trying to send you. And that's all choice. That's
Yeah.
all choice. But that makes it a little too easy. But one of the ways to stop that world from spinning so fast is to ask those 5 questions. GRACE, anytime, anywhere, and it will help you to pause. It will help you to reframe. It will help you to redirect your energies, and it will help you to ultimately enjoy life more.
And it creates quite the alignment. Like you just feel at peace. And just doing this little exercise here, I feel grounded and I feel just
Good. That's wonderful.
I
That's wonderful.
find it really hard to stay focused these days with all the chaos because I do work on social media and I do things on social media. And the minute you get on there, you're not focused anymore. You're drawn
No.
down that horrible rabbit hole of what's going on in the world. And then my heart breaks for the Ukraine, for instance, and other countries that are
Right.
going through chaos. And I've got a lot of empathy. So it really bothers me
True.
that
Yeah.
these people are being hurt so badly and living in such conditions. So,
It's
I mean,
horrible.
yeah, so I do have to spend time away from that, but not being ignorant to it either.
Right. That's a challenge.
Yes, it is. It's just
You're
it's in your face.
walking the tightrope.
Yeah, because I was watching a show last night and I do stream on my TV. And yeah, there was tariff commercials. Come on here.
Yeah, we
You
we really have to
know?
limit it. You
Like,
have
let's
to
get the
limit it.
anger going again.
Yeah, yeah. It's an energy drain. It's a distraction and